Hi, Bugaloos. I just want to do some new comic reviews. First off, before I get any further, I have a Red Knight update. I got back from the printer a few days ago to take a look at the proof of the copy they're printing, and it looks fantastic. Matter of fact, here it is. Yes, this is actually Red Knight #1 in my hands. Right here. With the color cover and black and white interior, and it'll be out in 2 weeks. It's going to be the week of July 20th, and let's see, it'll be available at several local comic shops in my area, but I'm also going to be taking orders online, so you can get it yourself. You don't have to live near me. You don't even have to live in my country. My country. But anyway, more news as it approaches, but very soon you can get a copy of Red Knight #1. Now, let's go to the new comics. Actually, this is last week's Trilogy. The comic store I go to was sold out, so I had to wait a week before I got this. Actually, I picked this up at Barnes & Noble. Thank you, Barnes & Noble, for selling comics. Thank you. This is Gates of Gotham #2 by Scott Snyder and Kyle Higgins, whose work I'm not too familiar with, but I love it, actually. First off, let me get to the story itself. When last we met, the first part of the story involved the bridges of Gotham that had been around since the Victorian period were blown up and killing thousands of people that were traveling on these bridges, and maybe hundreds, I don't know. Anyway, these bridges were nicknamed the Gates of Gotham, causing Dick Grayson, the Dick Knight, to investigate what's going on and digging deeper into Gotham's history. Now, of course, we get back into flashback right here where we have two brothers who were big architects in early Gotham. Then we flash back to the present, where Hush has been kidnapped by the guy in the steampunk outfit. Meanwhile, we're trying to figure out what's going on, where he's been kidnapped, where we're going, who the bomber is going to strike next. We have Damian and I guess I have to call Cassandra Black Bat. Black Bat doing a stakeout, and of course Damian's being a douche to her, and she really kind of doesn't pay him any mind, because, you know what, she's kind of above him, frankly. Lovely little scene, by the way. Man, she could so kick his ass. I wish we had that scene in here. But really exciting stuff. I have to say, I love Kyle Higgins' art. I would love to see Higgins do like Batman, or perhaps maybe a Cassandra Cain series someday in the future. It sometimes reminds me of Damian Scott's art in some places. It's very lovely. The only blight on this is it's the Dick Grayson character in the Batman costume taking sort of center stage. I frankly find myself kind of glazing over his dialogue, actually. This is a really good story, though. Although also we have the impending DC reboot that's coming up, so it kind of even hurts this story a little bit. All the DC books for the next month or two are, I think, really kind of damaged, actually, because we have this thing coming up, and, well, why get wrapped up in anything we're reading, really? I'm going to give this 4 Ram Chips. iZOMBIE, where are we here? 15. From DC Vertigo, and it's, as usual, Chris Robinson and Mike Allred doing a stellar job with their current storyline. I guess it's called Going Down. And zombies. Not just Gwen, the lead character, who is the zombie who is trying to stay conscious, really, you know, by eating a brain or two once or twice a month in order to stay, you know, relatively human. Her monster hunter boyfriend and her go into the depths looking for her friend. What's his name? Scott, the were terrier. His name's Scott, right? She wants to really keep it from him that she's a monster, So she's kind of playing the girl in a way in this sequence, doing her best to kind of keep him from realizing that, you know, this is kind of another day at the quarry for her, really. Lovely bit of work, and also the lots of zombie stuff. And also the Dead President's backup finds its way into the regular storyline. I don't know, I wasn't sure if they were going to do that, but you know, I guess now that I can see, they've been kind of building towards the two kind of hitting each other, instead of it just simply being a backup. Excellent work. You really should be reading the wonderful iZOMBIE. If you like kind of quirky, fun story with, you know, a little bit more of adult sensibility, this is just terrific stuff. This is probably maybe, this and American Vampire, the two best Vertigo titles going on. Although you really like, Lindsay, you really like Unwritten, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now off to Marvel with Fear Itself, issue 4 of 7. Matt Fraction and Stuart Immonen, picking up where we left off, where Bucky Cap got capped by Sin, or the Red Skull, or whatever her Skira, whatever her name is. Essentially, you haven't been reading this. She's been partially possessed by the daughter of the serpent, the god of fear in Norse mythology, who is super mad that he feels like he's been bumped aside by Odin, and Odin has stolen Asgard and his whole kingdom from him. Therefore, now it's his time for revenge. He's shot all these hammers, choosing various characters to pick up the hammer, and they're sort of semi-possessed. Well, they are fully possessed. Maybe combining their personalities. Possessed by whatever spirit was in the hammers. Not too unlike the original setup for Thor, actually, where Donald Blake would pick up you know, the hammer of Thor, and he'd become Thor. Well, it's kind of this, sort of, in a way. And of course, you know, they're tearing shit up all over the world. And of course, everybody's like freaking out, you know, all over. You know, Manhattan's being tore up. You know, we've seen Paris, you know, decimated. So everything's looking bad. And Bucky Cap was killed. His arm was torn off, and he got pounded right in the chest. Really serious sequence there. I also like the fact that we have this scene where Cap takes command again of the costume and the name, and we see him kind of in a quiet moment here, getting ready emotionally to do this. Because, you know, during the scene, I'm thinking, where is Steve? I mean, you know, this is, you know, Bucky, this is like his old sidekick friend. Now, granted, his old sidekick friend was dead for like a long time, so I'm sure he's pretty used to him being dead. But this is still kind of an emotional shock for him. Lovely little subtle scene there. And boy, we got a whole bunch of action going on here, where at the end, our Avengers Trinity, actually, of Captain America, Thor and Iron Man, go in different directions to approach the problem. Thor goes to face the Serpent himself. Cap goes to take on Sin in New York City, backed up by the new Avengers. And Tony Stark goes to see Odin, and the scene where he makes a sacrifice in order to speak to Odin is quite powerful. It's probably maybe the strongest moment in this issue. Really enjoyed this. I think this has been kind of overshadowed by the whole Flashpoint thing, and that's too bad, because I think this is a very good event so far. I'm going to give this 5 round chips. That's going to be it for now, so push the button, Lindsay.